Welcome back, my friends, to TFT Hyper Roll with Autarch. The question I have been asked a lot since the new patch is whether Rapid Fire Guardians Punk is still viable after the nerf to Punk. Now, if you happen to join the 7-hour live stream on Saturday, you know the answer to that question. And this video will further explain it, so you already know where it's going. But the answer is a resounding yes, with an asterisk. And for reasons I can't quite explain, at least in the higher ELOs, it's more competitive now than it was before the nerf. So, if you're going to do it, just be warned, there might be a lot of people doing it with you. Your dream start is, of course, a Rapid Fire Jinx. Not Punk Jinx, Rapid Fire Jinx. You want to build on the Rapid Fire in this. Let's look at our first set of augments for this match. Easy one here is going to be Component Buffet, but I like rolling through just in case something better is out there, but it's going to be hard to beat crafting your own items. I like slamming items on Jinx early. Key item's going to be Rageblade. We don't have the ability to make that yet, so what we can do is make an Infinity Edge. Deathblade, Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, all good items, but Rageblade is essential. Don't leave home without it. And this will showcase why Rageblade is so important. I probably should have just gone ahead and put the bow onto Jinx at this point just to get a little more attack speed, but bow alone likely wouldn't have changed the outcome. Rageblade would have changed the outcome here. That's partially the reason I focus on getting Rapid Fire first, because the attack speed from the back is what's really going to matter. I tend to focus on the front line and building it up first, because if you have a Rapid Fire Jinx, she's going to get speed anyway. And it is time for an item choice, and oh, what a tough decision it is. Can you click the needlessly large rod any faster? No, but we have what we need now for the Rageblade, and we lock for the additional Pantheon and a Mumu. And with Rageblade in hand, expect to go on a winning streak. This build usually starts very strong, especially if you can get that Rageblade. It's towards the end where you might have some trouble depending on the teams that are built against you. Second set of augments of these three, Frequent Flyer is the best of the batch. There's a possibility of getting something better, so you look for it, but Frequent Flyer works really well because you're going to be getting additional damage on Jinx every time you spend money in the shop. If you can get that money you're spending down to 1 gold, you're gonna power her up more. My goal, if the game allows, is to get to 4 Guardians before I start building out the backline. I want that front line to hold. Tank items will go on a Mumu first because he's going to be the centerpiece of your front line. Once you finish the front line, you can start building out the back line. I like Aphelios over Senna. He is a stronger unit from an attack damage perspective unless you're stacking items. Then Senna can be really strong. But for this build, you're really focusing on AD because Punk is going to continue to help Jinx throughout the fight, so you're hoping to get her to 3 stars. There are only a few 1 costs I'm comfortable carrying into late game. Jinx is one of them, and it's because of the Punk trait and that she's going to keep stacking damage. So Champion Duplicator was worth it because we can use it to bring Jinx up to her gold 3-star status. That will keep her in till endgame. And you can see that she has a pretty healthy attack damage amount, and that will just continue to grow, especially with Frequent Flyer. And we run back into that same Urgot that took us out earlier when we didn't have the Rageblade. And you will see the difference the Rageblade makes in how this fight goes down. The fact that she's 3 stars doesn't hurt either, but you can see Urgot pretty much can tear through the rest of the team, but in the end, Jinx says, bye-bye. It is time for the final augment, and it is Prismatic. I can't resist Golden Egg. This build is just too easy to win streak with, so I am fairly confident that I am going to be able to open this egg before the end. Item-wise, if I can get a Deathblade onto Jinx, I'm going to go for it. The other choice would have been Last Whisper, but I like Deathblade a little bit better. If you've been paying attention, you'll notice that we've seen a lot of Annies this game. And this does seem to be a recurring theme as of late, as I've seen a lot of superfan Spellweaver teams based on Annie. And while it is strong, you can't have 3 of them. Once I have the 6 Guardians, I then like to focus on getting the additional Rapid Fire, so it'll get me to 4 Rapid Fire, and then bring in a Poppy so we can trigger Emo for a Moo so that a Moo can cast more often. That will help keep that front line really solid. Now that we were guaranteed to get that egg open, I just went ahead and brought in Lucian for Aphelios. I had also found a Caitlyn, so I knew they were going to be my backline eventually, and I knew that egg would bring me lots of money, so I could do lots of rolling in the next round. And this is where things in this game start to go a little wacky. Go to grab the items, not items, it's gonna be champions. So we open the anvil, grab the Deathblade for Lucian. Then it is time to open our prize. And we see, oh yeah, we get a lot of champions. 2 champion duplicators and a tactician's crown. That allows us to bring Caitlyn in for now. And then we can try to figure out what we're gonna do with all this money and all these people. At this moment, I'm honestly a little torn. Do I try to go for a 3-star Lucian or something like that, which is hard to hit because you're going to have a lot of other people who have put Lucian on their teams because likely there's more than one Rapid Fire going around. But we have now been brought into the top 4 with a little bit of momentum because we have a lot of gold to get through and a lot of choices we're going to be able to make. Now the key here is also we have 2 champion duplicators, so it's going to give us a lot of different options depending on how things work out. For the moment, we are against the Urgot team again, which now has a 3-star Urgot and 3-star Samira and is a really strong team, but not quite against the Guardian Rapid Fire. It's our final item choices of the game as we head into Stage 10. Now extended, Giant Slayer for Lucian, Redemption for our gold 3-star Pantheon, and now some rolling. And I will save you 30 seconds of buying and selling so you can see we ended up with a second 2-star Illaoi, and then in the shop, an additional Illaoi, which with our 2 champion duplicators is going to allow us to go to the gold 3-star Illaoi, which is not something I have ever seen before, so I did not know what to expect, and I did not expect that. That's a lot of tentacles to deal with. So I decided to just make the tentacles the front line and move everyone back because it just looked like fun to me. I truly don't know what I'm thinking in terms of how this is going to work because my Guardians are just stuck and just my backline is doing damage. Even Illaoi is stuck until they're able to break through most of the tentacles. But ultimately, once we break through, pretty easy to smash through them. For the next round, I decided to move Illaoi into the very front so she can at least have some fun with the opposing team as she just slams the tentacles down upon them. The backline just completely cleans up. The Guardians are mostly just hanging out at that point, but for the final round, I wanted to give Illaoi just a little extra power, so I sold and swapped my Lucian so that I could put the damage items onto Illaoi and just see how cruel it could be. Before I could even get the 3 items on, it was over GG for everyone. I know this one had a wild ending, but the short story is Guardian Rapid Fire Punk. Give it a shot. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have an absolutely awesome day.